And of course, our promoter Rodney Berman, the main man, and Golden Gloves. Supercharged is what we're calling the tournament. Another blockbuster boxing show. And as I said, Golden Gloves, Empress Palace, and Super Sport, your world of champions, will be beaming it. 4 fantastic fights. Our first fight starts at 7:30 sharp. Warren Hully is in the house. He's watching around. Okay, Warren Hully trains Joshua Studdard. That'll be the first fight of the night against Morabedi Kotle in the junior bantamweight fight scheduled for 6 rounds. And Joshua Studdard is 5-0, 100% knockout record. 5-0 with 5 knockouts. Brilliant record so far. And then we've got, of course, Harold Forbrack's charge. Grant Fareed, the Fireball, the South African champion. He will be fighting Warren Jabir. They'll be fighting for the SA and WBI interim Pan-African Junior welterweight title. Warren the Warrior Jabir and Grant Fireball Fareed. We'll talk to them in a few minutes. And then WBA Pan-African welterweight title. The guy from Russia, Roman Balev, we'll speak to him now. He's the youth world champion. He fights against Paul the Natural Kamanga. Anton Gilmore trained Paul Kamanga. Paul is exciting, charismatic, 22-year-old, nearly as good looking as his manager. And Paulie has got big things, we're going to talk about it now, big things lined up for the USA. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. And that's the fantastic 3 fights, the build-up to, of course, the one and only Hekkie, the Executioner Budler, Hekkie, the Empress Palace kid, 27-year-old Budler, #1 strawweight fighter on the planet, elevated now to the WBA Super Champion. And what a fighter, 30 fights, only that single loss, going to his 14th world title fight, and he's only lost 1. Brilliant, brilliant fighter. We'll talk to Colin Nathan and a little champion Hekkie and find out what's in store for Hekkie. Hekkie fights Byron Rojas, El Galito from Nicaragua, a credible opponent with 22 fights and 16 wins. Let me start this side of the table here. Anton, I'll start with you. Another big fight for Paulie. He's fighting Roman Balev. Balev we saw against Ali Freneka. Was unlucky there because going into the last round he was ahead on points on the one judge's scorecard, so it could have been a draw, which would have meant that he's undefeated. So the fight ended a bit controversially. Tough fight. You watch the fight. You trained with Balev. He's the youth world champion. He fought Ali Freneka. We know this guy can fight, and the winner of this fight has been promised. This is the big news. You've got to listen to this. In Las Vegas, the winner of this fight will fight the night before the big fight with Khan and what's the guy's name, Rod? The Khan's fighting? Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez and Khan will be on the Saturday night in Las Vegas, and Friday night is the chance for the winner of this fight. Anton Gilmore, tell us about your feelings of the fight with Balev.
Hello everyone, thanks to Golden Gloves for this great fight. Let me say that Roman Balev is similar to the last Roman that we fought, except he punches with both hands. He gave Ali Freneka quite a tough time, and like Brian was saying, he was ahead. He's a steamroller. He's going to be coming forward all the time, we imagine. So we prepared for that, and we're lucky in that we've got the insight to come up with a decent game plan, how to fight the guy. Paul's always well prepared. We started the camp 2 weeks earlier than usual. We do realize the magnitude of the event and where he's going after this. So, you know, there's this, they're dangling the carrot in front of Paul, so he's really got up for this and he's trained very hard for that. We've had some great training with Ray, myself. We've had great sparring with the Smiths, with Tulani and Bengi, and a couple others. So from a preparation perspective, we are definitely there. There's nothing more that we could have done. Our strength training, our sparring, our pads, our running, everything is on top form. So you can imagine that we're going to be ready for this fight if everything's going to go our way.
Oksana, Anton Gilmore, Paul Kamanga's trainer, says he's going to knock out Roman Balev. So it sounded like he's short and sweet. No, he just said the preparations. He said the preparations have gone fantastic. They're looking forward to a good fight. How does he feel about fighting the undefeated Paul Kamanga?
Я готов хорошо, тоже так же я тренировался, хороший спарринг, и желание боя, все нормально.
Let him talk and then you translate.
Well, Roman is saying that he's also 100% prepared. He had excellent sparring sessions, and he can't wait to show what he's been doing for the past few weeks, and he's looking forward to the great fight and the great show.
Ask him before I speak to Paul Kamanga, does he feel he can beat an undefeated guy who's never looked like losing?
Как ты чувствуешь, ты готов победить чемпиона, который никогда не проигрывал? Definitely. He doesn't have any other option, does he?
И скажи еще спасибо им, что они мне сказали, так похвалили меня, что я тоже рад, что они мне дали бой, скажи, спасибо им, что они похвалили.
He just wants to say thanks for being appreciated and being given a chance. He likes the fact that you've analyzed his fight, previous fight with Ali Funeka, and he's really excited about this opportunity. And he doesn't feel that he's lost to Funeka. He feels that it was an unfair decision.
Can you ask him, before I talk to Paul Kamanga, can he give us a commitment? Does he feel he's going to win by knockout and by points?
Как ты считаешь, каким способом ты сможешь выиграть, по очкам или будет нокаут?
Это глупость, говорить, то я просто хочу видеть все. Я не тот человек, который будет поддаваться, говорить там. Просто я буду стараться выиграть.
He's not the person to show off and to make any commitments like that. His main goal is to win, and it doesn't matter which way.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. Basically, what he basically said in Russia is come to knock you out. So, what do you think about it? Paulie, 18-0, unbelievable. I mean, you're probably the most exciting fighter in the country now, Barna. And this is really big stakes for you to fight on the undercard of Canelo Khan the night before, basically, in the same town where the Who's Who of boxing will be there. And it's a big opportunity to go to Las Vegas, first time out in America. Should you win, it's really a big opportunity. Paulie, what do you feel about the fight? You're going to go 19-0?
Thank you, Uncle Brian. First, I want to thank Lord Jesus. I want to thank my team, Ryan and John Kaz, and everyone. Thanks for having us. And thanks, Roman, for taking this fight. We've had a very good training camp. We've had 10-12 weeks of training, so we're more than ready. We were ready 5 weeks ago. And I believe we've been 19-0. I believe Roman is a strong guy, but I don't believe he's going to stop us. I don't think he's going to break my beating record. And I believe we're going to fight in Vegas, and I believe we're going to be there on the night before Khan fights Canelo. And yeah, come Saturday night, I'll give it everything I got, 100%.
Thanks, Byron Rojas. That'll be for the WBA Pan-African welterweight title. Let me go straight to the middle of the table here and speak to the heavyweight champion himself of boxing, of Piedmont, Mr. Bob Yerim. How many years has it been now, Bob, with Golden Gloves? Is it 5 years, 6 years?
10.
Is it 10 years already? It just shows you how many years ago. 10 years already, it's been fantastic. Every show's as big as the next, another blockbuster. Tell us your feelings, Mr. Bob Yerim.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, everybody. Welcome to Emperor's Palace, everyone. Welcome to the Palace of Dreams. I see one or two new faces in the crowd today, but it's your first time here. We hope it's just the first of many visits in the future. We're looking forward to a great night on Saturday night. I think it's a great label for the fight on Saturday night, Supercharged. I'm sure Jeff came up with that. Well done, Jeff. It's a great name for it. Good luck to all of the guys at the weekend. Good luck, Anton, Paul, Warren, Hekkie, Grant, Roman, everybody who's fighting. It's a great night for us. We've got a lot of stuff happening on Saturday night, so I think best get here early on the night. It's great to see an old franchise that we've been using for many years now, WPT, which is the World Poker Tour. It's very nice to see those guys are sponsoring the event on Saturday night. Here's some of the representatives here. the ladies with the cameras there. So good luck, well done for all the hard work you put into this, and thanks Rodney for taking them on as a sponsor. So now good luck on Saturday night. Everybody who comes, we look forward to seeing you there. It's a big night for us. And again, as I say, thanks to all of the people who attended today, thanks to the media. And it would be remiss of me not to say as well our condolences for the passing of Shauna. We've worked with Shauna for 10 or 11 years now, and she's always there. Somebody's always helped us. And I think everybody's going to miss her a lot. So condolences to all of Shauna's family for her passing last week. And thanks, Brian, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Bogdan, the heavyweight champion of Piermont. Hekkie Budler, our main man, our promoter of Golden Gloves, has asked me to tell you all 2 o'clock tomorrow. Don't forget Shona McTaggart's memorial here at Empress Palace at Centre Court. Thank you, Roddy, for putting on another blockbuster show. Let me talk to Warren Jabir, the warrior Jabir. Warren, you've been in some big fights. You've won 80% of them, 70% of them. This is another big one. A lot of people thought you would win the first fight, including myself. I thought you were a bit bigger, more experienced. Grant fought a fantastic fight. I thought he had the speed on the night and the moves. And he obviously beat you on the night. Do you feel that you're good enough and it's not too late in your career to beat a good fighter like Grant Free? Warren Jabir?
Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome here today. Yeah, definitely Brian. I believe that come Saturday night there will be a new champion. I believe that the last time round I had a bit of off night. Grant really got up for it. It's kind of comparing South Africa and Japan. The last time in the World Cup when South Africa and Japan played, Japan beat South Africa. Not going to happen again. There will be a new champion on Saturday night. See you there.
Great fighting talk there from Warrior Jabir, 32 fights, 23 wins. I think that's a nice analogy maybe. I don't think Japan ever beat South Africa again. Let's talk to Colin Nathan before we come back to Colin just now with the main man himself, Hekkie. Colin, Warren Jabir, can you get him up for it? Can he beat the Grant Free? Grant was brilliant in the last fight. Warren is always good. He was good, but he just wasn't good enough on the night. Can you get Warren up for it?
First of all, thank you to Golden Gloves Super Sports, Empress Palace. Our condolences for the WBA President, Gilberto Mendoza Sr., and obviously Shona. To answer your question, yes, I mean, it was a very competitive fight. Grant fought a fantastic fight that night. He was really sharp and he deserved to win, but it was competitive, and I feel that if Warren listens to 1 or 2 things that we worked on in the gym and he can adapt to what I'm saying, I believe he's got a great shot at winning this contest. So, to answer your question, absolutely.
Right, Mr. Harold Voorberecht, who I rate as the greatest trainer this country's ever produced. And that's not only because he trained me, but I do really think that. Harold, of course, Colin Nathan also still giving 50s, though. I need a 200 note now. Colin Nathan, another brilliant trainer in the country that's coming up, and he's got Hekkie Budler we're going to talk to just now. You guys are keeping the flag flying as boxing trainers and managers. And Colin's confident that Warren can win this fight. Warren's confident. Warren is a very good fighter. Colin's a good trainer. What different preparations have you done for Grant in this fight?
Brian, thanks. You know, the first fight was a very good fight. That's the reason why they're fighting again. The public wants to see the fight, a fight like that again. They stole the show that night. I just feel that this time I had more time to work with Grant from the last fight. Grant is definitely much sharper than the last fight, and he's in good shape. It's the best I've seen him of all the years, and I really think Grant wants it, and he knows what it's all about and where this fight will take him. So I've got no doubt that you know, and I've always believed that if you can beat a guy once, you can beat him twice. You know, so I've got no doubt that Grant will beat Warren again on Saturday.
Well, that's great news for the boxing public. If he's any better than you're saying he's better than he was last time out, it should be a fantastic fight. What a brilliant fight. I mean, I thought personally the best fight of the year, no doubt, last year, and a fight that everybody wants to see the rematch. So it's going to, we look forward to a great rematch. Grand Ferry, the fireball, your dad Louis is in the house, brilliant pro fighter himself, great Piri Ferry, who can ever forget the great Piri Ferry, your uncle who fought 4 times for a world title. And you reminded me, like I said to you, you were a family friend. I saw you growing up from a little kid, and I said, this guy can make it one day. And I actually thought Warren would win the first fight, and you look absolutely brilliant. What is your feeling towards this fight? Do you feel you're going to win it again?
Afternoon to Empress Palace and everyone here today. Before I start, Brian, my 2 daughters said I must say hello to them, because if I don't, when I get home, they're going to give me a harder fight than Warren, so hello giving me.
A woman is a harder fight.
Back to your question, Brian. I'm ready. The only difference come the 19th of March. I will be the new WBA interim champion. The SA title's going nowhere. I'm coming to fight. I know Warren's coming to fight. Expect another war.
Thanks, Grant. The fireball free. South African champion, 24 fights, 16 wins. Right, let's speak to Byron Rojas, Marcelo Sanchez. We're going to just jump the table a little bit, Stan. Sorry, we don't want to exclude you. You're not normally at the end of the table, you're normally the main man. Stan Christodoulou, well, let's firstly talk about Gilberto Mendoza. You and I go back 30 years when I won the world title in '86 at Sun City. Gilberto Mendoza, 34 years or 36 years as the WBA president. Talk to us about that and your feeling on the upcoming fight with the great Hekkie Budler, who's also a WBA super champion.
Thanks, Brian. First of all, it saddens me at the loss of Shona McTaggart. She is certainly the Iron Lady and worked very vigorously and really showed what it means to represent a big promoter like Rodney Berman. Getting back to Gilberto Mendoza Sr., I remember when I first met him in 1976 in Washington, D.C. at the WBA convention, one of the first I attended. We started a good friendship from there on, and being an engineer, the man played a very, very important role in world boxing. He was the author of the norms and procedures for ratings. And in South Africa, he gave us all the opportunities. If you recall, let's go back at a time when we were the polecats of the world, he recognized that the word change was evident in the country, and he supported the fighters until 1986, when it became inevitable. All the countries were putting out, you know what it was like, pressure was put on them, and we were suspended for a short while. But what I admired, he admired you, and he said, listen, I'm going to draw Brian's fight. You were the last South African to fight for the world championship when you beat Alfredo Lane in Sun City, if you recall. And he allowed the fellas, Corsano also fought for the world title just before the suspension kicked in. And he didn't take them out of the ratings like a lot of people thought he would do. And he was right there. I suffered for 4 years. I got no fights to officiate. But as time changed, he came back and he made sure everybody got a chance. So we owe him a lot, because Suleiman never changed his attitude. He was not there for the people. He gave the wrong impression, more for himself to get the votes. But Gilbert had a different attitude. He recognized Mr. Berman's talents. He said to me, you know, it's time we get Rodney on board again, and I'm proud that Rodney has aligned himself with WBA as well, and he needs the support that he should get. And he told me personally, that's what we did the first fight when I refereed Hekkie when they went to fence, get Rodney back on board. That's how he importantly regarded South African fighters. He knows we've got the talent in this country, they just need the opportunities. And you recall, he came out to when Don King was here, when Virgil Hill fought Normack, you remember? He came out as well and spoke to Mr. Mandela at the time, and he was very pleased that he was recognized. So from my side, I believe it's going to be one of the greatest shows I've seen on paper. Believe me, you talk about it. I'm looking forward to the fights, and I wish everybody good luck, and may the best men win. But it's certainly going to be a thriller-minute action as far as I'm concerned. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Stan. Of course, let's not forget Shona McTaggart's memorial tomorrow. Let's talk to Marcelo Sanchez, the manager of Byron Rojas. Can you do the interpretation for us, please?
This is Maria, right?
Maria? Yes, we've got a lot of good-looking interpreters here today. Putting me off my jogger. Let's speak to Maria. Marcelo Sanchez is the manager. Byron Rojas has got a mountain to climb here. He's fighting the best fighter in the world in that division, the strawweight division. Rated pound for pound as the 9th best fighter on the planet. He really can fight, and we're not just saying that because we fellow South Africans. He is #1 in the world in the division. Does Byron Rojas feel he can dethrone Hekkie Budler?
preparado para que Byron está preparado para luchar contra él y que puede ganar?
Bueno, antes que todo, muchas gracias por la oportunidad que nos están dando.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to have them here.
Nosotros somos personas de retos, nos gustan los retos grandes.
They like the people that like challenges, big challenges.
Y yo creo que la mejor forma de expresar y decir lo que venimos a hacer lo haremos definitivamente el día sábado en el ring. Estamos listos, preparados para triunfar.
And the best way that they're going to show that they're ready for the challenge will be on Saturday when they fight or they win the fight.
Can we get a prediction from the challenger, Byron Rojas? Prediction, does he think he's going to win on points by knockout?
Bueno, primeramente quiero darle gracias a Dios y gracias al pueblo de Sudáfrica que nos han brindado una buena hospitalidad. Gracias al campeón que nos dio la oportunidad también de esta gran pelea. Y bueno, pues nosotros venimos preparados a la pelea, vamos a dar una buena pelea. Primeramente Dios, espero de que salgamos bien de esa pelea.